position and draft because that's ready. So without further ado, let's just head on into draft. So coming into this,
I'm liking this. I'm liking this because L'Oreal wasn't picked at all, wasn't even banned during the first series, but now that we see that Superman and Joker taken out of the table, and Lindis and Preda as well being used, so this is a completely different, meta and sets of heroes being selected here.
Oop, Fennec and Zephys. Oop, okay, maybe not Fennec, just the other bunny, which would be Slims. And Zephys getting picked up by the side of ExDee Gaming, going up against that of Lindis and Prater and Lubu. Lubu, we saw him in the first series in the first game itself. Plays in the wrong lane, and just played not to its fullest potential. So I'm interested to see how Plague will be doing playing this Lubu, and whether or not Lubu will be doing well in this game, if at all. And we mentioned it last week as well. When we see Blastoise, the usual ban would be that of Alice. However, Blastoise will not be picking on Alice this time around, instead finishing up the team comp with an Arthur and a Crash.
Yeah.
In this game itself as well, first game Serial Killers, basically the Food Wars, different meta. ExDee Gaming and Plague, a different meta. So I'm not sure how it would actually play out. Definitely not similar to that of the first game, because in the first game, a lot of scaling, a lot of slow movements, and not very dynamic in terms of gameplay. Whereas we have now Dexter in that mid lane, and where's our favorite masochist? Oh, there you go. ExDee Pain is in that jungle role.
Exactly, and he's just one of the very scary players. I believe he used the Cricknap before on the show match, and it was very, very effective. But Zephys this time around is going to be in his hands, and I feel like it's going to be as painful during the show match. But again, this is going to be a first time seeing Plague, so I'm really, really excited what they're going to be putting onto the table, as this is going to be a Lindis jungler instead of, the previous Lindises that we've seen, either a mid lane or on the bottom side of the map. But it's going to be an Arduin and a Tara bot lane. Lubu and Arthur is going to duke it out and try to sustain as much as they can on the top side of the map.
Yep, so Pain going for the alternate rotations, or rather that is what I like to call it. So you clear your buffs, go to your next buff, clear out the bot lane, go back into your top jungle, clear your top jungle out, and then you get the level 4. And then with that, you can easily go down to gank the top lane or the mid lane. There's generally a lot of argument in terms of which rotation is much, much better. For me at least, I feel this rotation is fine. However, it's just not as smooth per se. Obviously, you have the chance to actually secure the Sentinel as it spawns, and obviously go up into the top lane as well, as Pain is doing so. And that would be the first flight onto All Might, and Zephys will get it.
Yeah, that was a pretty smooth transition. It was more like I had a Pain had the correct mindset. I'm level 4. Who should I take advantage of in my death from above skill here for my ult? But at the same time, Abyssal Dragon actually resets at this point, and Plague is forced to back away because the Death Squad has actually arrived in the bot side of the map.
Yep, the Death Squad. While I'm saying that, actually, I saw that Arduin getting picked up. Obviously, that was just something I didn't realize earlier on, but I may just have to continue my point after this tiny little skirmish. Abyssal Dragon getting started out. Lindis with the poke, trying to land something, trying to set vision down. Tara may just go in for that steal right now. Abyssal Dragon getting dragged around, make sure it does not reset, and Lindis going terribly low, forced to back down. Crash is going on to Kirito, and there you go. Abyssal Dragon getting started by ExDee Gaming, completed by ExDee Game. Okay.
Beautiful transition from ExDee Gaming there. From the Sentinel, they just immediately ran through the bot side. Slims actually spot them out, taking the Abyssal Dragon as fast as they could, but resources just wasn't enough to take it down so fast. They were forced to back away. They tried a potential steal, but just scare away the one that has the punish skill on their side, and they scare down the Lindis, and Lindis might be in victim.
Yep, Lindis might be in big trouble, and as you're saying that, Cerberus picked up Lindis and Crash with the Metamorphosis may just pick up another one. ExDee Pain, our favorite masochist, will be able to pick up that operator. And to continue on my point earlier on, looking at Arduin, Arduin is one of those very iffy players, or rather heroes to play, simply because All Might in a very dangerous and very uncomfortable position. I may continue the point later time because All Might will be taken down by Dexter on that L'Oreal, on that Lindis, sorry, and now Sushil, the only one standing to hold on to this turret, but will be jumped on by both members of ExDee Gaming, and Sushil will be going down, and that is the power of Zephyr. So quickly touch on Arduin, iffy hero to play, very, very difficult hero to play. You really come to, fruition when you have your hook and if you can land very good ones.
Yeah, and it worked out wonders for ExDee Gaming there. I mean, they were so brave, and I really thought that they would transition their kills to when they transition their kills towards an objective, which is the tower right there. But they're just aiming for the kills, and Zephyrus just keeps getting all these goals, and the lead is just going to be super immense. But at this point, as you can see, they might be diving into deep.
Yeah, they are definitely diving a little too deep because, I mean, Cars, you're in not the right spot, you're not in the right spot. You may just want to jump on to Sushil, but Sushil is a Tara, has got great sustain like I mentioned earlier on. All Might on that Lubu trying to go in, so much heal coming through. But that is the hook that I'm talking about. Great hook coming out from Kirito 911, able to secure the kill and pick up the kill onto Dexter on that L'Oreal, and they will be transitioning those two kills into this first tier mid-turn, or maybe not, because
aggressive.
Yep, super aggressive, but a fight may just be breaking out. Nope, it's just a skirmish, a poke wars, and they will all be backing away.
Yeah, this is what they could do here for on the Preda as well, that they could just clear down the waves and maybe move somewhere else. They want to play safer now as the gold lead is not significant, but as you can see on the replay, they were super aggressive there. They're caught up in between towers there, at the top side rather, but they were just aiming for the kills, and really good synergy between Crushed and Zephyrus, as you can see. And at this point though, it's quite equal, sorta equal, but Abyssal Dragon is actually currently being taken, and we'll see, no contest whatsoever, but they have a feeling that they're taking it down.
Ooh, as far as I'm concerned, Abyssal Dragon, do not go to your team.
Yes, sirree. And that's a quick transition from ExDee from the Abyssal Dragon. I like that giggle there, Luxuria. Interesting giggle there, but as you can see, Blastoise is just doing the roam, spots out Tara there on the riverside, and as you can see, they're just very reserved at this point because Zephyrus just really wants to probably aim for the bot side kill instead.
Yep, that was a very bad pun, I apologize. Wow, but in that bottom lane, 4 members each from each team. Ooh, but just look at the monopole coming through from the side of play, just getting everybody on the side of ExDee down. But as I say that, Pain goes in for the Lindis, picks her up, and now this is the number advantage for the side of ExDee Gaming as they transition this into a possible bottom tier 1 tower.
Exactly. Crash doing wonders here. Oh, they're going to again.
And as far as I'm concerned, you will be good. Starting the pun. I apologize so badly. I can't reuse puns. I've been doing that. My sincerest apologies. I mean, Pain is doing so much work and putting in so much in for his team right now, and All Might as well just getting poked down by Cerberus on the Arthur.
Exactly, and they're just ExDee Gaming is just getting everything that they want. They're just strong arming their way towards objectives and towards towers, because mainly they do have the mobility, they do have the capability to do so when they want to dive and just burst someone down, and they're really reaching. They've already reached their spikes as well. They're in the lead in terms of gold, and they're setting the pace of the game at this point, and it's just Plague just trying to adjust every time they start these fights, and it's always the side of the blue side, which is, XD Gaming really taking everything for themselves.
Yep, just looking at that replay itself, I mean, just a very good metamorphosis, and another good one actually coming through for this current team fight, stunning out the players, stunning out the heroes on the side of Plague, and the last man standing would be that of Lindis. Will Lindis be able to hold on to this turret at all? And that might not be the case, because Pain goes in from the back and take that of Lindis down.
Exactly. They've gotten a kill there. They had this skirmish at the riverside on the mid lane, but
not enough whatsoever, with Cerberus picking up All Might on the Lubu and the top tier turret. Sorry for causing it.
It's alright, man. There was a fight and they succeeded there. Plague is just really having a difficult time making the proactive rotations, but look at that. They're already starting the Dark Slayer in 10 minutes into the game, maybe because they have the capability to do so. But what we missed from earlier is the mid lane engage, where they just strong arming their way again, and they managed to get a pick off. Crash is just really doing a lot here. In terms of skirmishes and team fights, and it's just aiding Pain so well as the L'Oreal, and just creating all the space that they need to eliminate the key threats on the opposition.
Yep, space and chill. Pain is caught in between 4 enemies, but may just be able to get away. All Might on the Lubu, that was just one basic attack into an ability, and look at All Might on the Lubu. Not also mighty right now, I see. But now looking back into the bot lane, so much pressure coming out from Blastoise on that windmill little kid, and all 4 members of ExDee Gaming trumping down into this bottom lane, and they will just very clean rotations throughout, right? So they go into the bot lane, from the mid lane and back into the mid lane, and now looking at the top lane again. Sushil having a difficult time sustaining and holding onto this turret against Pain on this Zephyr. So a lot of good hope and a lot of great team fight. And as I'm saying that, just look at that. Just one very, very fast kill coming out. Kirito 911 goes down almost immediately, as well as All Might. And that is just an immense play coming out from ExDee.
Wow, they just are really optimizing or really taking advantage of the Dark Slayer buff, and they managed to do it so well. Everybody's just exploding right now on the side of Plague. It's just that they cannot do anything. The lead is just so significant at this point. It's just quite hard to retaliate, and Sushil is the only one left to defend this one, and the core is right open for the taking.
Yep, you may be Plague, but I have the vaccination, so you can't touch me. 6 kills over to 18. ExDee Gaming coming on top. Good game. Well played.
GGWP indeed. That was, again, we mentioned how clean ExDee Gaming played from the show match, and then that's super apparent again in their game number 1 against Plague. And Zephys and the synergy between everybody.
Ready, so without further ado, let's just head straight into draft.
Yes, definitely. I do agree with all your points, but Superman being banned on the side of Plague. Meanwhile, we'll have to see what ExDee decides to ban instead. Hovering over to the Joker, that opens up a lot of choices. They could either get the Zephys for themselves, or maybe try the win. They really love it.
Red team's turn to pick.
They really do, and I'm excited as to see how the side of ExDee Gaming will respond, and they might go for double ADC.
Blue team's turn to pick.
I suppose this works. Either you put the Violet in the jungle, either put the Kaz, or put the Fennec in the jungle. I think it works either way. Perhaps maybe if they would opt for another mid laner, maybe a mage or something, maybe perhaps someone of them would go bot or something like that, or maybe someone would go mid. It's very, very flexible on ExDee based on how they've been moving so far. But I really love the adjustments made by Plague at this point, because they got the Crush, they got the L'Oreal, really, really strong heroes in the current meta, but at the same time they took Freda and Lubu being covered and probably locked in, so I suppose that will be their either top laner or TS laner, or maybe the bot side of the map.
Freda, the illest, as you can tell from your screen, has got 100% win rate only till after the game before. So this time around, ExDee Gaming is playing a very damage-centric draft. I mean, just look at them. They have got a Fennec. Obviously, Fennec has a lot of support skills, but just look at Violet, Fennec, Praetor, Lubu. They are just so much damage coming through, and the only real tank there is Blastoise.
As well as disengage, but we'll have to see. I'm really excited what this game number 2 is gonna bring us for this series.
Yep, I'm excited to see the little fox getting played as well. I mean, we don't usually see that at all, even in high tiers for PH and SG. I hope I'm right, because I haven't seen one just yet. I'm not exactly in high tiers. I have yet to actually grind. So Riku, do you see a lot of Fennec running around?
Not recently, but it's still getting picked from time to time, especially when Joker is getting banned. But as you can see, they're putting this test squad in just so that they could deny the buff take as well, away from the, the Violet. But they did a good job, because no one from the side of XD Gaming was actually contesting the opposite side of the map. So I suppose, was there a steal? Yes, there was, because I don't see the blue or the blue buff on the Sage buff rather on the side of Violet. So job well done for Plague to take that risk and most likely just try to strong arm their way on towards XD Gaming.
Yep, the Sage buff is on to not Asfar, it's Afsar. I just realized the IGN is Afsar, not Asfar. Afsar, not Asfar. Sorry, I butchered your name, Afsar. But okay, so coming into this rotation, I really like this aggressive one coming through, because it is resemblance a lot of NA games that I've seen. NA EU games usually to go in for very aggressive rotations like that, but Cast in that bottom lane able to just put down so much damage onto Mike. And that would be the first blood. Kirito trying to find a stun. Cast with those footwork able to just zone, move around the map, but will that be enough? And Cast escaping, oh my lord, with a slither of health, but unfortunately Abyssal Dragon now is up. So with that kill going over to Kaz will have to pop back, and this time around, if communication is there, Play can easily cue the team to go down for the Abyssal Dragon, since they have the number advantage.
They had the correct mindset. It was the great bait mate set play. It didn't happen because Kirito was, arrived a little bit late, and so Kaz's explosive damage from, the Phoenix passive is just really hurting a lot, and that worked in their favor. As you can see, Kirito is like, hey, I'm gonna save my friend, but all falls down in front of his eyes, and he survives. Kaz here has defeated the Lindis as well. Abyssal Dragon actually being taken by XD Gaming. So as you can see, red side again just really dominant in the first minutes of the game.
Yep, and even the domination continues on into the mid lane, and Kaz actually solo laning against a Crash and Orma, which is not wrong, but I would have preferred if Lindis would be paired with the Crash, but Fennec may just be in trouble, just putting out so much damage against Kirito 911. All Might, you may not just be that mighty right now, with Kaz going in for the 1v2 and able to pick up Orma for himself.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like maybe Nightmare, it's probably their favorite pick is the Lindis jungle, because 2 times in a row they've decided to be first pick it and prio pick it when, there's a lot more in the table as well. So it might be a team dynamic rather than something playing around with the meta that they have at the moment. But Abyssal Dragon still 50 seconds on the clock, but this is them just trying to counter jungle and try to choke resources away from Nightmare, which is working wonders for them. And Kirito just spinning his way out of danger.
Yep, not quite out of danger, because like you mentioned, he dies Pain in a very dangerous position, but Crash, this is the first time Fennec takes Crash down, and Sushil once again running for her dear life. And I really thought, when I saw Blastoise actually on that Crash, he seems so very tanky, and there's no way you could have taken him down. But Crash, All Might on this Crash seems so very paper, and Kaz this time able to push down the lane with Sabras on the Lubu, and red side, XD Gaming coming out on top in terms of macro plays, and even in that small team fight skirmish thing that they had, they just did so very well for themselves.
Exactly. I mean, XD Gaming knows their win conditions so well. They know that they're very ahead of the game. Knowing the fact that Lindis is going to be carrying a punish instead of a flicker is just more reason to just keep counter jungling her and keep pressuring her, so that, I mean, the traps can only do so much. Sometimes maybe, you know, she's not gonna find you, anticipate the counter jungle, and that's why it's very difficult for Lindis, especially ExDee Gaming, knowing that they have the damage advantage. But look at Sushil just getting dove upon here and getting poked upon.
Yep, but as that is happening, Cerberus comes in from the backline, takes a lot of damage from Kirito 911 and will be going down. Violet is still pushing, and the next target will be that of Lindis. Blastoise goes in with a charge, trying to find something, and L'Oreal in a very dangerous position, as with Dexter as well. And Lindis may just trying to find something, pick someone up, but Dexter will come out on top in the small little fight. And now ExDee Gaming will transition all of that into this mid-tier turret. And there is one thing that I want to point out, was that Tara actually used her ultimate a little too early for my liking. Even before the team fight started, obviously she's prepared for a gang, as I'm talking about gang all night, all night. And Kirito might just be jumping onto Kaz, but that would not be happening just yet.
Exactly. I mean, look at the stacks coming from the Fennec there, just taking down turrets here and there, and they're ExDee Gaming is already comfortable to heading over to these 4v5 situations where they know that they're already in the lead. They've got a 7k gold lead. They know who to pick first. Just make it maybe a 4v4 situation initially and let Kaz do the taking. And because they have the Fennec on their side, most likely they could take an early Dark Slayer, or perhaps take advantage of this lead. But as you can see, he's just gonna roll away to safety, but they're gonna start a fight.
Yep, that Metamorphosis plays probably might just hurt the side of Plague, because Cerberus going very, very low will be taken down first by Kirito 911, and it's just a 3v4 situation. Can Cast pull something off? And that would not be the case. The side of Kirito 911 actually scoring a double kill for himself, and the next will be ExDee Pain, the favorite masochist, putting down so much hurt onto Sushil and Kirito 911. Oh my, Kirito and Sushil will be running for their dear life, and all three members of ExDee Gaming surviving all of that, and will be able to push down one of the lanes.
That's the thing with ExDee's composition. You can make it a 4-man squad where you do have the marksman, which is the Violet, you have the mage, the Preda on your side, and let Kaz do the split push instead of the Lulu, because he just shreds down towers, he just shreds down objectives so quickly once he gets the stacks to 4 stacks full. But as you can see, Dark Slayer has been killed, and they're gonna start a fight.
Yep, 7 minutes in, Blastoise goes in head first, trying to find something. Heal's been used. Kirito 911 backing off, as with Sushil as well. That is probably the communications coming out from the side of Plague. ExDee Gaming that we have got a clear advantage here, and they might just look to split push. Crash though, taking the Might Golem, and Kaz may just be spotting her out, or maybe that will be Kaz jumping onto Lindis. A basic attack to prop that passive, and Kaz will back away, not quite spotting All Might, taking that Might Golem. Oop,
Exactly.
I'll take that back, because with the Metamorphosis might reveal himself, and Kaz just goes in with the burst. Those basic attacks hurt, and now All Might so very low, forced to go back. The next target will be Sushil, and that burst coming out. Lindis, you've got nothing against this Fennec whatsoever, and that's 2 down, 3 down on the side of Plague, and Abyssal Dragon now taken. Blue team will be calling to pause the match.
Yeah, Dark Slayer buff for ExDee Gaming, it just means that they're gonna be extra confident in terms of starting these fights. And as you can see in that instant replay, Kaz spots out the All Might, the Crush there, taking that Might Golem from earlier. It was just very, very sneaky at that point, but he just got spotted out, and therefore you see that the blue side rather was forced to take a fight that they're not prepared for, especially that everybody else from the side of ExDee Gaming is on the bot side. It is actually pretty what do you call this, mixy matchy if you look at it. Like, Violet's the one doing the split push, and at least they have a marksman on their side that deals so much damage as well, and has provided a lot on their squad. And it's just really difficult because the gold lead is just piling up as the game goes, and Plague is still having a difficult time coming back online in terms of getting the comebacks, because objective after objective, ExDee has been taking it as the game progresses.
A blue team
Yep,
tower
we are
has
talking
been
about
destroyed.
close to 11,000 gold lead for the side of XD Gaming, and as far as I'm concerned, it will be very difficult for, you know, the side of Plague to actually come back. I mean,
Blue team tower has been
they had a
destroyed.
promising chance earlier on, just a slight chance. Kirito 911 goes in, tries to land those CCs, will be bursted down by Pain. There's so much hurt coming through. Lindas will be next, and there you go, a double kill going for the Pain. And this is just a bad day for the side of Plague, as it will be an all-team clear and a shatter of the core. Good game, well played. XD Gaming, very clean rotation.
Wow, almost a 10-minute game for this game number 2, but they take it. They take this win in this best of 3 series, and as you can see, it was a very difficult game for Plague because they weren't able to maximize, they weren't able to scale well.